What up, world? My name is Dana Harris, and I'm single-handedly trying to make math cool again. Today we're going to be talking about the law of sines. Now, I know trigonometry may not be your favorite math topic. Heck, some of y'all don't even like math, so it wasn't mine either, but I'm going to show you how to make it very, very simple. The law of sines, all it is a simple ratio. Here we go. So, we have the sine of A over A is equal to the sine of B over B is equal to the sine of C over C. Now, what does this mean? Okay, so whenever we label a triangle, typically capital letters are going to signify an angle measure, and a lowercase letter is going to signify a side length. So we have the sine of an angle, and it's going to be over the side that is opposite. Let's go ahead and draw a triangle to show you how this really works. So we have this triangle. Now, these are not going to be drawn to scale, okay? So everything's not perfect, but we're going to say this is triangle PQR. All right, and let's say we have 58 degrees here, and let's say we have 93 degrees here, and we have, this is 16, and that's all we have, okay? So we got to figure out how to find the length of little p, okay? Now, although the formula has A, B, and C, it's the same thing. We're just going to use P, Q, and R. So we're going to set up a ratio, okay? And when we set up this ratio, or actually it's going to be a proportion. I said ratio earlier, but it's actually a proportion. So the proportion is, I'm going to say, since I already have this side, I need this third side length, okay? So I'm going to get this by saying, we know the sum of all three angles in a triangle has to be 180. So if I take and add these two and subtract that from 180, so really I have 180 minus 93 plus 58, okay? And that's going to give us 29. So the measure of angle R is 29 degrees, okay? So now we have all three angles, so we can write our proportion. So we're going to say the sine, we'll start with P since it's first, of 93 over P is equal to the sine of 29 over 16, okay? So we have the 93 over this, so that sine of 93 over P is equal to the sine of this one over this side length, okay? Now, in order to solve a proportion, we need to cross multiply. A lot of people get that terminology incorrect. When we cross multiply, we are multiplying in an X shape, okay? So we're going to say this times this and this times that. So it's going to give us 16 times the sine of 93 is equal to P times the sine of 29, okay? So then now we need to get P by itself. We're going to do that because P is multiplied by the sine of 29. So we just divide both sides by the sine of 29. So here we go. So divide by sine 29 there. Divide by sine 29 there. And so then now these two cancel. Okay. So let's move kind of over here. So we're going to say P is actually equal to 16 times the sine of 93 divided by the sine of 29, okay? Now, when we do this, we put these in our calculators. If you're using a graphing calculator, you need to make sure that your calculator is in degree mode. If it's not in the degree mode, it's not going to give you the correct answer. And if we round this actually to the nearest tenth, then the 16 times the sine of 93 divided by the sine of 29 is going to give you approximately 33. So that tells me that the length of this side is equal to 33 units. All right? So once again, that's the law of sines. Remember, it's just one big proportion. You can take any two and set them equal to each other. So I can say the sine of A over A is equal to sine of B over B. Or I can say sine of A over A is equal to the sine of C over C. Or I can say the sine of B over B is equal to the sine of C over C. So any two, you can put those together, cross multiply, solve that proportion, and you will find the missing value, okay? Make sure you keep your calculator in degree mode. Dana Harris, Young Gurus Math Tutoring. You already know. I got the solution to your math problems.